rematch between Amy Toohey, who starts out of the box, walks in, puts her foot on the line, and then does that methodical serve there.
Side out.
These two played in the third place playoff in Tucson, Dave.
2.
Tracy Davis won that match 25-19. Amy is in her first fifth place playoff of her women's race career. Started her women's race career with 4 straight semifinal appearances. That was snapped yesterday by Danielle Daskalakis.
Side out.
And that match was not as close as I thought it would be.
Not close at all.
0, serving 2.
Amy was right back on the court, though, Dave, taking out Jennifer Hinman, 25-5.
1, serving 2.
Sounds like we have a very competent referee in the box. Level 5, I believe.
2, serving 2. Point.
We're all together at 2 here.
3, serving 2.
It's now 3-2, and we're going to 25. You heard the ref say that in the early announcements. Win by 2. 15-point halftime.
Side out. 2, serving 3.
This is not a match that Tracy Davis wants to lose. And you can say the same for Toohey. I mean, it's obvious when competitors get on the court, they don't want to lose it. But sometimes, deep in a tournament like this.
Serve. 2, serving 3.
There could be a, you would think there's no incentive, but these women have a rivalry that's been building for a couple years.
2, serving 3.
Well, this has been an extremely exciting women's draw here, Dave. Hillary Rush goes to the semifinals for the first time in her women's race career. Susie Koehler, who's never finished better than 7th, is now into the finals, taking down a couple of big names.
Point.
Dave, I'll tell you
3, serving 3.
Late night off-air match between Susie Koehler and Danielle Daskalakis. Wow. Wow.
4, serving 3.
This place was rocking last night, Dave.
Wrong. Second serve. Point. Five, serving 3. Side out. 3, serving 5. Side out.
A lot of records,
5,
Dave, being
3.
set today. First happening, Susie Koehler in her first women's race for 8 final.
Point.
Amy Toohey in her first 5th place playoff. Daniel Cordova in his first race
6,
for 8 final.
Serving 3.
Marco Chavez will, at the minimum, break his own record of oldest player to ever finish in the top 6 of a race event.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, in the race event, I see. Okay.
3, serving 6.
43 years and 10 months he was when he finished 6th in Las Vegas. He will now be assured of at least 6th here today at 44 years and 1 month.
So every month he just adds another month to the record books.
As long as he finishes in the top 6.
Okay. Well, we can fix that on the internet with a couple clicks.
Side out.
That was a bad miss hit there from Tracy Davis. Overhand left.
6, serving 4.
Amy Toohey, Dave, very much like Dermot Nash. Two really good hands. Doesn't really hit the ball hard. She's got a great sense of where the ball is going. She bulldogged that shot.
Big setup here for Tracy, though, and she goes
Side
down
out.
and gets it side out. She's a really good athlete.
4, serving 6.
Able to fight off some of the
Screen, short
some
ball.
of that power that Tracy Davis has.
Second serve. Screen.
We have a short and a screen now. Amy not happy with
Second
ref calling
serve,
that
one
screen, but there's no way you couldn't call that a screen. That was almost hit Tracy.
Side out.
Ball.
You're right. It hit the bad bounce off that back wall.
Tracy did not seem to be asking for that.
No, her partner or
4,
opponent
serving
did.
6.
Yeah.
Side out.
That's a great kill shot there from Toohey. Formerly
6,
Amy
serving
Obert.
4.
You might have heard that name a few times, won the Collegiate National Championships.
Side out. 4, serving 6. Point. Five, serving 6. Point.
Altogether at 6 here.
6, serving 6. Side out.
When a player mishits the ball off their hand on an
6,
open shot,
serving
is it just that they're not patient enough for the ball to come into the strike zone? They want to hit it too early? Because you see some players do that a
Side
lot.
out.
And it doesn't really seem to affect the outcome as much because we're talking about champions here that can do it. But remember Paul Brady in the old days, when he ever did make a mistake, it would
6,
be
serving
from
6.
hitting a ball off the bottom of his hand. Is it just a lack of focus? Because how could you say that about a guy like Paul Brady who's so focused?
Yeah, I was curious about those strange errors
Point.
as well. He felt like Paul made 2 or 3 of those in a game and
7,
didn't seem
serving
to make
6.
sense.
But he still wouldn't give up more than 6 points.
Right.
Tracy's won as many national championships as anybody possibly could, and she has sort of this off the bottom of the hand itis that happens a lot, especially on open shots. And I'm just wondering if it's just something that she's rushing, trying to get the
Side
ball
out.
to get to her hand quicker than her hand is ready for it, or you can't say that
6,
they
serving
lose
7.
focus because these champions just don't. It's a cool serve. Now Amy's
Point.
going all left-handed here, Dave.
Yeah, well, we see her do that. She's
through
like
these
one of
phases,
these
right?
boxers that switches from orthodox to southpaw.
7,
Middle of the
serving
match.
7.
But she did a power serve with the left. Her return was
Point.
a flat roll with her left, and then she turns around and lobs with her right.
8, serving 7.
Yeah, I agree with Amy there. That seemed like a screen.
Tracy Davis 5-2
Point.
this season, currently ranked number 4. Highest women's race freight ranking for Tracy Davis, number 2. That was in
9, serving
2015,
7.
Dave.
Short.
She's winning 53% of her points played this season.
Second serve.
The Underwood wins against Amy Toohey. Mentioned that match for 3rd place in Tucson, and also defeating Suze in Las Vegas.
That's before coming into this tournament, though, right?
Right. This is just the semis of this 5th place playoff.
Yeah,
Dave.
she has another match coming up.
Yeah.
Side out.
All these ladies were having a nice time last night at the banquet and the post-banquet. Great hospitality by our Killers Club hosts.
7, serving 9.
Tommy Samario and John Duggan.
Foot fault.
A lot of fun. I actually had a great discussion, Dave, with a bunch of pros about the foot fault rule. Very interesting. Wish you could have been a part of it.
2nd serve.
Well, I had a very interesting conversation
Screen.
with John as well about you and whether they're going to let you in next time.
I think that'd be a no. So that was probably a pretty short
Conversation lasted 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wouldn't think it would need much more.
Point.
Amy Toohey currently ranked number 3 on the tour, Dave. That is
8,
her
serving
highest
9.
ranking. 4-3 on the season is Amy, outscoring her opponents at a 51% clip. So very close between these two women. 51% to 53%.
9, serving 9.
So would you say,
Point.
if you were just going to make a guess, that
10, serving 9.
that Suze Koehler is the #1 American player right now, based off of recent success, winning the Women's Classic,
11, serving
making it
9.
to the finals here?
I think she's the most informed. Now, as far as the ranking, she's not going to be the #1 women's player in the U.S., but if you're going to go by over the last 2 months, who's got the hot hand?
Point.
I'm going to say Suze.
Timeout number 1.
2 tournament wins in the last month, and now she's in the finals here, taking down 2 of the top American players. So I would say, kind of like if you're going into the Masters, you know.
She's got she's on a roll. So you have
Yeah,
to
it's
say
like,
that she's a favorite.
Well, you'd say Rory McIlroy is a big favorite going into the Masters. He was playing well going in. He wasn't ranked #1 though.
Right.
But he won the big tournament, Arnold Palmer, and looked to be in great form. So a lot of people would tab him as the favorite. Dustin Johnson was the #1 player, but you know he wasn't necessarily in as good a form. So I say Suze is in top form. The rankings are not going to reflect that unless she continues that top form. Because remember, her best finish before this event was 7th. So she's got a lot of ground to make up to get into that top 5 and top 3. It takes a lot of good results to break into that top tier on these tours.
And it's going to be not a big question because maybe you already have it worked out, but just making this appearance in the finals for Suze Koehler, which we will watch a little bit later this morning, she's going to make a pretty substantial leap in the women's rankings, which is going to help her out a lot when it comes to Salt Lake City, you would presume. And very well could see Suze Koehler in back-to-back tournaments where she's in the finals based off of just having a good seed for Salt Lake.
Well, there's quite a bit of math to be done. But Suze has no points on the board from Vegas or Tucson. So
yeah, she
really
lost in early round. So she
Resuming
picks up
play.
at least 8, though.
12, serving 9.
she does
And
pick
so-
up 8, but that's likely not even going to put her in the top 6.
Side out.
She's
9,
definitely
serving
going to
12.
wreak havoc on whomever she faces then. Those early rounds. You're right, she lost in early rounds there.
Yeah.
Side out.
I think she might have played Courtney Pachote in
12,
Vegas
serving
in an
9.
early round.
Lost to Jenny Schmidt in
Tucson.
and she
Then
lost to
got her
Amy
back.
Toohey
Side out.
in Vegas in a tiebreaker. That was the match I watched, and I said,
9,
Suze is on her
serving
way
12.
up. Even with the loss, I saw something there.
Point.
I liked how she was upset with herself after that match. Not to a point where it was obsessive,
serving
but to a
12.
point where she cared. She cared and it showed that she had passion. She wasn't there for a walk in the park.
Well, Dave, watching the match last night,
Handball.
unbelievable intensity. from both Danielle and Suze.
10, serving 12.
A little bit of frustration there from Amy, who yells out after running into Tracy, and I think this is going to fire Tracy up a little bit. Tracy bounces the ball really nicely to Amy, and Amy stabs it like Barry Bonds catching a fly ball back when he was with Pittsburgh. That snap catch.
11, serving 12.
That's out. He caught that ball, now sneaks one over to the right side. Actually, that was a pretty good serve.
Sky hook there from Tui.
$11, serving 12.
I like that little punch fist.
Point.
Tracy could have done that underhand paddle. Decided to
12,
try to pop
12.
it over the top of Tuhi, and it didn't work. And with as many points as Amy's scoring right now, the score's tied. Now Amy up by 1. It's kind of surprising because it really seems like she's been dominating here.
13, serving 12. Point.
Amy's upset that she touched Tracy again. Tracy giving Amy space
14,
to throw a fit.
12.
Very interesting what is developing here, Dave.
Yeah, this is
Side out.
the beginning of something bad, I think.
But good.
But still bad. Tracy's
very
being
bad.
Tracy's
12,
being very
serving
calm about it
14.
right now, but
Right now.
Point.
it is always interesting when a player
13, serving
makes
14.
a perfect shot and they're still upset with their opponent
Screen.
for being in the way, which is what caused that perfect shot to happen.
13, serving 14. Side out. 14, serving 13.
Trying to take the half lead here, Amy is.
Oof. Tracy rotating into the
Take
play
that over.
there.
Now that was not going to make it, and I think both players know it.
Amy knows it.
Yeah.
Tracy knows
I
it.
thought it had a remote chance of making
No,
it.
no.
I thought it had a remote chance, Tracy.
That didn't even have a chance to make the short line. Amy walked right back to receive serve.
14, serving 13.
Definition of remote is far removed.
Contact. We'll take that over. 14, serving 13.
Getting back to what I was saying about hinders and being in the way of another player. You know, they
Point.
just have rules for that.
Halftime.
There's no reason that a player needs to get upset with another player when, you know, from what we've witnessed here, Dave, this isn't anything that's abnormal. Tracy hits the ball,
Wow.
Tracy gets out of the way, but it's not out of the way of Amy enough, and it becomes, you know, a point where one player is being combative with another player.
But when there's history between the players,
Yeah,
it
but
changes
you know, we're talking years
everything.
ago, and I what I'm saying is there's no reason for a player to be upset with another player. That's why they have rules called hinders, screens, avoidables, and that's up to the referee. And if you're going to be upset, you should really be upset with the ref for not calling those plays, not the other player, because that creates strife.
The player can really create a gray area that makes it almost impossible for the ref to make these calls. And we haven't seen one avoidable call this whole tournament, so you can't just, you know, say the ref's going to police everything. Players have a responsibility to be out of the way.
I agree with that, but we're not talking about a major extreme here where it's been so obvious. We're talking about a bad bounce off the back wall. It kind of eats up your opponent, and then they get in trouble for being in the way. At least that's what I'm seeing here. But nonetheless, it's halftime with Tracy Davis down by a couple points and a nice little comeback there from Amy Toohey. We're at the New York Athletic Club. That's a very fast 4-minute break there.
Yeah. I mean, you must have really been talking for a while. It didn't seem like it.
All I did is walked over to a computer and pushed a button over here off behind you and then came back and sat down.
4 minutes,
It took me 4 minutes.
Time is flying.
Wow. You're right. I do need to work out more. Because, that would be, a 40-minute workout would just be, what, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
See? Good logic.
Amy Toohey, 29 years of age. She'll be 30 this May. Tracy Davis, 41 years of age.
She out there?
Seen a lot of big age gaps between these players.
This whole tournament, yeah.
Yeah, 15 years, 11 years, 12 years.
You should see the age gap between the referee and the players at this event.
No.
4 minutes? I just gave him 3. All right.
Actually, 30 seconds.
Tell her 30 seconds.
Amy's best women's race freight finish, Dave, is 4th. She's done that twice. She will not have a chance to improve on that here in this event. 5th will be her best option.
Resuming play. 13, serving 15. Point.
It's a good serve right there. A little natural hook that fades out to that left side wall.
14, serving
as
15.
Amy throws the ball back to Tracy there. Yeah, these two are no stranger to the close games. Did you mention how close their scores have been throughout their history? It's unbelievable. They're at 14 to 15 right now. Now tied at 15.
But I'll tell you, Tracy's played more 2-point win or losses than anyone I've ever seen. 25 23s, 26 24s. Every tournament you can count on at least one of Tracy's matches being decided by 2 points. And probably overtime. And Tracy's so good from there. That's an automatic shot. Tracy pushes the ball down the right with power.
15.
Sets up this shot where she goes
short,
just behind herself.
I'm surprised Amy almost got her hand on that.
Well, in slow motion, it looks like you could almost get to everything.
Well, I play my actual matches in slow motion.
Yeah.
Side out.
Amy Albert was your
15, serving 16.
collegiate national singles and doubles champion in 2010. Amy Toohey, I should say.
Well, Amy Albert at the time.
At the time, yeah. Played for Lake Forest College. Teamed up with Maria Dugas in the doubles to slam.
Side out. (16), serving 16.
Oh, I like that shot.
16, serving 16.
This is a women's 5th place semifinal. They still have the 5th place match to play.
Long.
That ball hitting the back wall on the serve.
Second serve. Side out. 16, serving 16.
The other semifinal match is between Shirley Chin and Courtney Bichotte DeMello, and that one's a battle as well. Both women had the chance on a coin flip to go into this court as the show court, and they won the coin flip and decided both did not want to come into this court. They'd rather play on that other side court.
They chose to receive.
Yeah. They both said, we think that'll be a better match. And I thought, well, that's weird.
Side out.
but it looks like this
16,
match here obviously
16.
is exactly what we thought. Over there, it is very close, competitive.
Well, Shirley is a battler, Dave. And I wish we had gotten to see some of her matches on the broadcast because she's a great player to watch.
Well, she's improved.
16, serving 16.
Improved a lot.
Good player.
We're all together at 16 here. You have to win by 2. Tracy's so strong from right there. She just is able to power that ball. Amy comes in to that red carpet area.
17, serving 16.
It doesn't look like it, but she overplays when she comes up that close. Now she hangs back here. Big setup for Davis.
Point.
Referee calls a quick point, no screen. Another point now for Davis, who is dominating up front. And what he's trying to do here is get Tracy out of that front court. Easier said than done.
Serving 16.
But she's going to have to try to do it. Because Davis is now rolling up front, and there's a beautiful left-handed kill shot from Tuohy, left corner.
Timeout number 2.
Gets the side out, calls the timeout. We're at the New York Athletic Club. Race for 8, stop number 6 out of 7. 7 will be here in less than a month in Salt Lake City, where anybody can play. It's a pretty cool format. The top 8 players will be treated like they always are at these events, where they'll be named here in the next week or 2. And then the qualifiers can come in and knock them out of their 8th position. And I really do foresee that happening this year if the right players show up.
30 seconds.
And that has huge implications. There's a season-ending bonus that's on the line. Now, you won't see a qualifier come in and take away anybody in the top 5, but
okay. Resuming play. 16, serving 18.
You could see 9, 10, 11 possibly jumping into 8, 7 position.
Point. $17, serving 18.
Was there ever a scenario before this tournament started that say that hypothetically if Killian Carroll would have lost the round of 16 and say Sean Lenning won this tournament and Salt Lake City, that Sean could have been considered number 1 if Killian lost Salt Lake City's in the round of 16 as well?
No.
No. So it's his, no matter what happens.
No matter what, Killian had 48 points minimum
18,
for this season,
serving 18.
and there was no way Sean could catch that, even with 2 wins here and early losses by Killian. Killian will end up the season, well, if he wins today, with a guaranteed 50, no matter what happens, which is the highest amount of points you can have.
Tracy just plugging up the middle of that court right there, and there's a miss from her finally as she's up front. Haven't seen many of those.
19, serving 18.
You have a feeling this is going to go to overtime?
Yes. Definitely decide by 2 points. Nice shot.
Point.
She shot that one from the hip, Dave.
20-18 is the score here. It looks like Tracy's going to run off
20,
with it,
18.
and then Amy gets her out and scores 3 or 4 of her own.
Point.
Wow. Threw her whole body into that.
21, serving 18.
Tracy's going to have to make her move now. Amy is really feeling it. Goes for another kill.
I like that. Oh.
Slight miss hit there.
I thought she hit a really cool soft shot up there, but it was a
18, serving 21.
ball off her thumb. 18 to 21. That could be a big turning point here. Oof.
No sorries there, Dave. You see sometimes players with the high five, and there was none of that there. I'll say that. I'm not saying that means anything.
You think that ball would have made it?
Yeah.
Thought you'd say that.
Yeah.
18, serving 21.
Yeah, I'm not one of those benefit of the doubt types. I know when it's not going to make it. I don't play the remote game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a remote chance.
Point.
Yeah, I don't do that.
19, serving
Although
21.
now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not so sure. That ball is headed towards the left corner with the wrong spin.
Yeah, backspin on it. And Tracy's up here, hitting it overhand down to his shoulder. That ball is going to have to be
21.
Tight to the sidewall and front
really
wall.
close to that corner. And it looked like it was about 3 feet back, which would have cut the wrong direction. Now Tracy's starting to pick up her game, just like Amy does when she gets in the server's box.
Half a timeout. You can't leave the court.
No, there's no half timeouts in a
call
25-point game.
Okay.
No.
Well,
No.
yes.
There just aren't.
There is now.
No.
Yes.
So this is just, are we playing handball or are we just making up rules as we go? Just going to kind of go with whatever we feel like it. What's next? We're going to play 2 bounce or, I mean.
Yeah. Can we?
Yeah. Let's get rid of the eye guards and gloves. We don't need those.
All because somebody took a 30-second timeout?
I mean, you're going to break one rule, break them all.
Yeah.
Be consistent.
Okay. Next thing you know, they're going to allow these players to start late.
Time in.
Oh, wait, that did happen.
21, serving 21.
We're all together here. We're going to 25.
Screen.
Agree. Amy
I don't
won't
think
like
so.
that. Amy does not like that.
Yeah, I don't see the need for that call.
One screen. Second or first serve.
Oh,
Nice
wow.
shot.
Side out.
That's what you do when you get a screen call against
21,
you that you don't
serving
like.
21.
Watch this replay, Dave. This corner kill is amazing.
It really was.
Whoop. Love that shot. Big setup.
Well, Tracy fed 3 straight off the back wall, and that's right in Amy's wheelhouse.
22, serves 21. Point.
Now Amy's just rolling here. No timeout called from Tracy. I think she will call
23,
one
serves 21.
if Amy scores this next point.
2 straight right-hand back wall kills for
Point.
Amy,
This
which
is
came on the heels of a right-hand return a serve kill, and now an ace. So
here it is. Match
24,
point.
serves 21.
Can a player walk into the server's box like that during the call?
Nice match.
And there it is. Tracy Davis loses here against her rival, Amy Toohey, and a little strange handshake there at the end as Amy exits the court and gets the 5th place semifinal win, and she will now be in the finals of that 5th place match. We're going to take a break here. We will be back in about 10 minutes as I believe Luis Cordova versus Marco Chavez for 5th place is coming up.
that's right.
Okay, well, stick around. We'll have that here on WPHLive.tv.
Ninth place, right? Fifth place? My bad. Let me get situated. All right. For the fifth place match, final match, we got Marcos Chavez and Luis Cordova. Cordova, 1 or 2? It's 1. It's actually 2. Marcos will be serving.
You heard the announcement there. Referee
Good
getting
luck,
Marcos
gentlemen.
Chavez into the server's box here, going up against Luis Cordova. It's the WPH race for
All right,
8 in New
0
York.
serve,
Stop number
0.
6, men's 9th place.
Short ball and
Excuse me,
screen.
5th place match here.
Second serve.
I made the same mistake that the referee made
Hold
when
it,
he made the
replay.
announcement.
Right behind you.
I shook my head when he did
It
it.
was right behind you.
Now I feel it's completely acceptable for some reason.
0 serve, 0. Side out.
It's a 1-game match to 25 here.
0 serve, 0.
Do these ranking points help Marco Chavez for Salt Lake City, or is it just confirmed already that he won't be in the top 8?
Yeah, he will not be in the top 8 for Salt Lake City, but a win in this match, and then based on how he does in Salt Lake City, could determine whether he finishes the season.
In
It
the
could
bonus,
come down.
right.
It could come
Short
down
ball.
to
Do you think that the points
0.5
that
Second serve.
that differentiate himself and Vic Perez are like fractions of points?
Well, I think it's going to be, depending on this match, either 2 or 2.5 points.
Point.
So it will make a big difference because they're going to play each other in the round of 16 again
2 serve, 0.
in Salt Lake City. The winner of that is going to get at least 1 more point
Right.
based on how the playoffs go. And then you also have to factor in, you only count your best 5 out of 7, so it might not even count for one of the other
Point.
players. You throw out your 2 worst.
3 serve, 0.
Luis Cordova 3-2
Yeah,
lifetime
bad bounce to the front.
against
Replay, 3
Marcos
serve, 0.
Chavez. Last time these guys played was in Atlanta, Dave. That was in the 5th place semis.
Point.
Luis Cordova winning that match. First stop of this season.
Yep. 4 serve, 0.
Not a good start here for Marcos.
Told me that he was a little sore stepping into the court here to warm up. And I said, just getting old or getting sore? And he said, no, I'm sore. I'm not old. Good philosophy there. Or at least outlook. Dave, after tournaments that you've played, not I wouldn't say these last couple tournaments, but this one, when you were rolling in the top 2, maybe even after Vegas, when you get back home, were you sore at 40, making it to the semifinals?
No.
Really?
Hold it, replay.
It's amazing
5
how
serve,
well
0.
you guys can keep.
You know, I used to get so sore when I was a teenager playing these pro events. I mean, I couldn't move.
Point.
I can remember being 17 or 18, and I just could not move for 2-3
6
days
serve, 0.
after a tournament.
So it's about how you warm your body down, how you eat, your diet, how you prepare for the tournament, what you do afterwards in order to keep it from those things from
Maybe,
happening.
because I didn't do much
6.
then.
Point. One serve, 6.
It seems like Marcos plays on Sundays as much as anyone in the history of the race. He's either playing for 9th or 5th or the senior final, or somehow he's involved on Sundays, sometimes in 2 matches on Sundays. Luis Cordova is another one, Dave, that always seems to be involved on Sundays. Luis has made one final in his career. That was in Salt Lake City last year.
Now his brother making his final appearance.
Right.
8 serves 1.
These guys hanging out last night just about 9 hours ago in the Killers Club, both with really nice suits, talking handball.
Point. 2 serves 8. Short ball. Second serve. Side out. 8 serves 2. Side out. 2 serves 8.
Marcos is looking forward to not only the Players' Championship, Dave, he'll go for a repeat of his senior race for 8 title, but also he's looking forward to the Worlds this summer, playing open doubles with Sean Lenning, trying to win that. That would be a great story.
It really would be.
Side out. 2 serves 8. Side out. Eight serves 2.
Dave, I believe there's a women's third place match scheduled. Don't see those women on the court, though.
Yeah, it should have started at 9:45, I believe.
Yeah, that's the time that I saw as well.
8 serves 2. Point. Nine serves 2.
Remember, Dave, Marcos was one swing from being in the semifinals here in this event. Had match point on Vic Perez yesterday. 14-13 in the third game. And did not close that match out.
Yeah, that's
2 serves 9.
Such a huge.
And, you know, it's not just this season that, you know, that point might keep him out of the top 8,
Side
which
out.
it likely will. Those points going to next season, where you now have a huge edge for the whole year. You've got those 6 points on your scorecard for 12 months.
So frustrating. I felt bad for him, but he handled it well.
He handled it better than I handled it for him. I did feel bad for him. I would have felt bad for Vic also, though.
10 serves 2. Side out.
Those ranking points, Dave, will keep you up at night in a cold
2
sweat.
serves 10. Short ball. Second serve.
Talking to Dave Munson last night, Dave, who's starting to break in now to that top 15 for the first time. He said all he thinks about now are these ranking points. So upset that he lost in overtime yesterday to Steve Cooney. That cost him a full ranking point because he would have had a forfeit today.
Right.
So that's
10 serves 2.
That's a big difference. That affects his seeding in Salt Lake City. Now in Salt Lake City, Dave, you go straight by the rankings. So say the second ranked qualifier is going to play the number 7 seed. You'd much rather play the number 7 seed, I think, than play the number 4 seed. And that's the difference between 1 or 2 ranking points.
12-2.
12-2 here, one game match to 25. This is for 5th place. Then the women's pro final will be next.
Side out.
See Marcos kick his foot up in the air there to try to get into the perfect position to strike that ball, and then he hit it soft.
2-12.
I thought he was really going to lay into it.
Short ball.
That was close.
Marcos has not been
Second serve.
himself on Sundays in the last 3 events. We've seen Marcos and always marveled at how does he do it? He's just still playing so well on Sunday, but the last, you remember Houston, Dave, not himself on Sunday. Las Vegas, not himself on Sunday.
Side out.
But this is a guy, Dave, that's owned Sundays. 9 senior race freight titles, won a number of 9th place finals on Sundays.
Right.
So I'm not going to say it's
the other side of the mountain.
It's a trend.
Yeah.
But it's.
Well, one thing I could say is that match that he played against Emmett Peugeot in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's the difference maker for me, because that's about as good as I've ever seen him play, and that was just a couple months back.
Right.
So he certainly has that in him, and that's late in the tournament too. That wasn't like that was a first or second round. That's a playoff match. 1 game to 25. And that was really an amazing spectacle.
Side
really.
out. 2 serves 12.
Right now, though, Marcos is playing like the referee sounds. Not very good.
12 serves 2. Point. Thirteen serves 2.
Lot of unforced errors here for Marcos Chavez with his right hand.
14 serves 2.
Now Luis Cordova looking to go into halftime with a huge lead.
Halftime.
We're going to take a break as well.
Yeah.
They're going to get a half. We're going to get a half. It's not 3 minutes, it's 4.
Yeah.
And we'll be back in just a bit. Stick around here at WPHlive.tv for the conclusion of this 5th place match. Welcome back to New York. Halftime is now over as Marco Chavez is looking to serve here to start the second half. Luis Cordova finds himself up.
All right, time's in.
Men's fifth place final is underway
15
here.
serves 2.
Going to 25, yet to win by 2.
Point.
This is the WPH Race for 8 New York stop. Number 6
16 serves 2.
of 7 with the Players' Championship in less than a month in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Point.
Now 17-2. Cordova looking to gather a couple more
serves
points
2.
as he heads into the big championship. Up next, it'll be the women's final between Katrina Casey and Suzie Koehler.
$18 serves 2. Point. Side out. Excuse me. 2-19. Oh, fuck. Excuse me. 2 serves 18. Point. 3-18.
Same score as the last time Marcos played on Sunday at the last event, where he trailed 18-3. But he will do at least one better here, Dave, as he's now crossed that 3-point threshold. Dave, you just get the sense that Luis Cordova is on the verge of a top 3 breakthrough.
Side out.
He was ranked 3rd earlier, right? But
yeah.
but tied with two other players.
Right.
18 serves 4.
So he is going to most likely be ranked number 6 after this tournament, which, Dave, if the rankings are what I anticipate them to be, it could be a Flying Cordova quarterfinal, which would be a first in the history of the race where brothers face one another in the main draw. The Cordovas have faced one another 5 times, but always in the playoffs. It very likely could happen in Salt Lake City in the quarterfinals with a lot at stake there for both guys.
Right.
I can't remember a scenario where numbers 3 through 7
5-18
could all finish number 3 in Salt Lake City.
Side out.
Not liking that. But those things happen.
Well, I don't know that there'll be ties. There could be, but there could very well be 5 players finishing with a chance to finish number 3.
I get it. And that's where you look back at the end of the year and said, you know, if I just would have played that one playoff match in Missoula where I decided to take it off because, I don't know, I didn't want to play it, and that could have been the difference maker.
19 serves 5.
I'm sure some players micromanage that when they look back. There's a lot of ifs for that to happen. But that's what we say, you know, the race for 8 is where every point matters.
Yeah, you can't miss a point. You can't miss a point as a
20
viewer
serves 5.
or a player.
Yeah.
There's no points off.
So what's your point?
I don't have one.
Okay. That's a screen, no call, doesn't matter.
Point.
Marco's telling me at the half, I just don't have it today.
21 serves 5.
Never thought this was a good matchup for Marcos playing Luis. Look at that shot. He's aiming for that wide corner kill from 37 feet.
I don't think Luis Cordova is a good matchup for anybody.
Oh.
He's got everything you fear when you play a top player. He hits the ball hard. He's a get artist, doesn't get credit for it. And he's going to push you around, which I don't know of any player besides Killian Carroll that likes to run in the court.
The matchup I'd like to see is Emmett against Luis Cordova, which rarely happens. They've only played once.
That would be a fun one.
Yeah, I'd really like to see that match.
Match point serves 5. Side out.
And Marcos is going to hang around here for just a little bit longer.
5-24. Point. 6, serves 24.
Marco sounds really sore.
Side out.
Wow. If Luis Cordova wins this point, Marcos will have lost his last 3 Sunday matches, all of those 1 game to 25
Match
matchups.
point, serve 6.
Wow.
Well, you haven't heard the score.
As match.
75-16. Marcos Chavez outscored on his last 3 Sundays.
Wow. 75-16.
That's right.
That's not good.
That's about a 6-1 clip, just loosely off the top of my head.
We'll turn the referee's microphone down as we now have this match in the books. That's pretty extreme.
25-7, 25-3, 25-6.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Well, we have another good one coming up, though. Katrina Casey is going to face Suzie Koehler in the women's final, which will be right around the corner. Give us 10 minutes for that. We'll have more as the WPH Race for 8 continues. World Players of Handball, courtesy of WPHLive.tv. Stick with us.
think this is
60-second timeout, 130 second.
130 second.
I'll take care of the timeout.
Okay, cool. And then, what time are we getting them started? Like when should I? Ready? Okay. All right, ladies, we got 1 minute before we start. 1 more minute before we start. No, because I wasn't even trying to hear that conversation. I heard that. It was like, why?
This game got started.
Okay. All right, ladies, we're about to start. Does anybody want me to hold a ball, or you got that? Okay. Ready? All right, Katrina, a cup or a glass? A glass. It is a glass. Yeah. So 2 15-point games, 2 60-second timeouts, 1 30-second timeout. There's bad bounces here on the frame of the door, the glass there. And then if you want to get that little white thing so it doesn't stick out. All right, so you're serving first game, Katrina. Good luck, ladies. We have the women's open singles finals. Starting serving the first game is Katrina Casey from Ballydesmond, County Cork, Ireland, right? And then receiving serve, Suzanne Koehler from St. Louis, Missouri. Good luck, ladies.
That's a referee, Tracy Davis.
Score is 0, serving 0.
Best 2 out of 3 to 15. Breaker also 15, win by 2. Women's final is underway. Suzie Koehler and Katrina Casey.
Side out.
And Koehler gets that first side out. There goes the perfect game.
0,
There
serving
goes
0.
her butterfly. She's not nervous now. Get them out now before it's too late.
In the broadcast booth, we have Marco Chavez. Yours truly, Dave Vincent, WPH Live.tv, and the women's finals with the WPH Race Freight Tour stop number 6 in New York City at the famous New York Athletic Club
serving 0.
in Manhattan.
Katrina Casey applying pressure to Sue in the backcourt.
1, serving 0.
I thought it was interesting that Suze went with that high lob serve because it was feeding right into Katrina's strong hand. I mean, that's what she wants. She wants the ball to be
2,
back there.
serving 0.
She ended up getting the side out back then, but
yeah, she defeats a lot of these players, like playing back, keeping them back, making them make the errors on trying to finish the rallies because they get impatient.
Point.
I think Sue right now, I think is one of the hottest
3,
players
serving
right
0.
now on the Race for 8 tour. That's an American. She's, I think she's won a few tournaments that I heard lately.
Point.
Women's Classic to be won.
4, serving 0.
the Bear Bash, I believe she won in Missouri.
And I don't even follow the women, and these people are talking about it, so it's pretty good to see women's handball growing.
Tried to sneak that ball in against Katrina, but it didn't work. Katrina's seen everything.
Yes. Something like that, you have
5,
to put it down.
7-0.
Well, it actually was a good idea. It just, she
Yes.
left it up.
Exactly, yes.
No screen call.
Wow.
Side up. 0, serving 5.
Great shot.
1, serving 5.
Susie's keeping in that rally, keeping a little pressure on there. Made Katrina make that unforced error.
2, serving 5. Side out.
Katrina's played a lot of handball this week. Played in the men's
5,
qualifier and then
2.
dropped down to the men's 17th place where she made it to the semifinals.
Point.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I was very impressed.
I believe she played 6 rounds before the
serving
women's
2.
division even started.
Point.
She's given up as many points already in this match as she has in the whole
serving
tournament
2.
in the women's bracket combined. Her opponent has scored a total of 2 points leading up to this match. And that's how many points Suze has at this moment, is 2.
8, serving 2.
That's dominance.
Yeah, very dominant.
Point. 9, serving 2.
You remember a couple years ago in San Francisco when Katrina put 2 zeros on her opponent in the finals. And earlier this year, put a 0 on her opponent in Las Vegas, as you recall. I'm keeping the names out of this just to be nice, but
yes,
no need to keep bringing it up. But that's what she does.
If she has no mercy, she's just going to finish the match right away and not let her opponents score any points. And she doesn't mind that. She has no heart on the court.
I don't think you should, because the one time I actually agree with Dave Fink that some people say it's disrespectful to put a 0 on somebody. I think it's disrespectful to play that
short ball
dog and pony game that you're going to give them a point. Like, I'm just going to play around with you. That's disrespect. If I go out there and play as hard as I can, that shows how much I respect you. It took me about 10 years to agree with Dave on that. I mean, because really, Marcos, you like playing squash, you like other sports.
Yes.
If you're going to go play tennis and Roger Federer is going to play you, do you want him just to hit little dink shots?
No, I want the heat.
Yeah, you want to see what it's like to play against a pro. You don't want him to hit these little shots that gives you a chance. And no, I want to see that best serve. I want to see how I am compared to you.
Yeah, and he's playing with me, so I can just barely hit the ball back. And
it's like, oh, Roger, I got a point off Roger. You know, I don't think they want that.
Not bad. I got at least 1.
Yeah. And you know that he's giving it to you. So that's nothing to brag about. But in this day where everyone wants to take selfies and brag about themselves all the time, I can see why people would be upset when you get beat 0-15. But Katrina is far from a cold-hearted person.
Yes.
12-2 is the score here. She's running away now with this one.
Yeah, she's definitely not your friend on the court until the match is over. So, I mean, even her own friends.
13 serves 2.
Aoife, they play each other. And
she knows what she's getting into when she plays her.
She knows they're not friends on the court.
Side out.
Oh, that's nice. Great shot.
2 serves 13.
She really got down on that one. The timing was perfect right there. Susie's playing really good right here. I wish she would kill that. the one thing on the Women's Pro Tour I wish I would see more kills. With Martina not being here, it's a little different. You see her kill the ball a lot more often like that, but not many women on the Pro Tour have an offensive game that they use, like killing the ball, and a lot more passing.
There's an opening.
Side out.
Katrina goes for the power pass as opposed to the kill shot.
Yes.
Well, she definitely has one.
Serving 3.
Well, she has a kill shot, but I mean, she uses the power pass more often than the kill, I believe.
I mean, she's systematic, methodical, whatever you want to say.
Point. 14, serving 3. First game.
There it is. First one goes to Katrina Casey, 15-3, as she defeats Suzie Koehler here in the women's final. We're going to have an actual 4-minute break, not 3, but stick around. We'll be back in about 3 minutes, though, as we'll give you the conclusion of this match between our number 1, Katrina Casey, and Suzie Koehler. Stick around here on WPHLive.tv. Back in New York here for the conclusion. Women's finals, it's Katrina Casey and Suzie Koehler. Suzie scores 3 points in game number 1. Game number 2 about ready to kick off. It's the WPH Race for 8, stop number 6 here in New York City. Actually, Manhattan.
Sorry, I've just got to put all this stuff on.
Referee is putting microphone back on.
All right, ladies, ready to begin. 0, serving 0. Side out. 0, serving 0.
I haven't seen enough of Suze to see what her main serve is, what she really uses. I know she's right now been using kind of like a paddle side.
1, serving 0.
Z serve. Yeah, to make it to the finals here, and I mean, this is a great accomplishment for her.
Nice rally. Point.
A lot of first-timers this weekend. Daniel Cordova.
2,
Suze.
serving 0.
exciting times for WPH. Some new faces.
Yeah, we've had a lot of new faces this year. See, there's a nice kill shot from Katrina. New faces this year on the tour.
Serving 0.
It's nice seeing guys like Max Lane Mac coming out in Houston. You saw him.
Point.
I mean, you had to look up to him.
Yeah.
The Functions, Peter and Patty.
4 serving 0.
We saw them a few times throughout the years, but
Short ball.
I feel like they're more regulars this year.
Yeah, Dermot Nash came down. That was
Second
nice.
serve.
Ryan Pesh qualified early.
Point.
I should say maybe late, mid-year last year, and then came to a few stops this year. So it's nice to have some newer players qualify on the tour.
Dave Munson.
Right, had a really good breakout year for him.
Great year.
Just a couple points away from being into the semis, right? I mean, he lost in the quarters, or was that the round of 16?
I believe the round of 16.
He would have been in the round of 8 again, back-to-back tournaments, had he got those couple points, and that really would have given him, you know, the boost that he needed for Salt Lake City.
Side out.
That's a great revolving door kill shot right there from Koehler.
0 serving 6.
Is he a player that will be going to the Utah then, huh?
Yes.
Wow, that's great.
Set up. Six serving 0.
Katrina trying to finish this one quick. She's out to a 6-0 lead now. She's really working that left ceiling shot to the left corners. Wow.
Point.
Nice kill with her left.
7 serving 0.
Those ceilings are tough. She's shooting them to both sides, to the left and right side
8 serving 0.
of that back wall corner. Very difficult. I mean, for even any pro.
I agree.
Side out.
Nice shot.
0 serving 8.
Serve reminds me of the Chapman serve he would use sometimes to get out of trouble. Used to do it to Vince all the time. Be that front wall, right wall.
1 serving 8.
Would wrap around to the left.
That's beautiful.
Side out.
I mean, she was falling back when she hit that.
Yeah, she recoiled and just popped that ball up there. Not only taking years of practice, but knowing you need to practice those shots are how you can develop them. There's a lot of players that are learning how to play, and they refuse to go in there and practice on shots like that. They just think they can't make them, but you can. I say, Marcos, go into the court when you're warming up and start that way. Make that your first step so it's always in your mind. At least when you first start. Instead of going in there with your strong hand and throwing with your strong hand and taking it off, and then you turn around and take it with your offhand, and you don't give it the same appreciation. You don't focus on it as much. I say walk right in there and throw with your offhand immediately.
I'm going to do that next time.
Thank you.
I'm going to take advice from you.
You've never done it before, so why start now?
I took some advice from you. We played the Masters doubles together. You said move to the left side and get everything.
You did. You did. Although there was a time that I got hit by the ball. And
Did I hit my own partner?
When I said hit everything, I didn't mean hit me as well.
Nice rally. Nice rally. Side out. Score is 8, serving 1.
You know, that's the thing about Katrina that is so frustrating, is that you can have a nice rally, but you don't end up winning them.
Yeah, you think you're in
9,
it right
serving
in
1.
the rally, and then all of a sudden, yeah, she puts it down. She gets that point.
That's what I think continues to drive people to play this sport, because you go in there with the top player and you say, well, I hung out. Yeah, that's almost impossible. I hung out for 20-shot rallies, and I didn't lose all of them. I just lost one of those 20.
First time out.
You know, the ratio was actually good. I did 98% well in every rally. I only scored 2 points in the tournament, but I was, it was the last shot they took was the one that won. I hit everything else okay until that moment. So it feels like when you get home that you hung with them, but then you look at the score line and you didn't, but you're driven to go down to the club and practice more, because you feel like, you're just a step or two away from you ending the rally.
I've been doing that my whole career. But, yeah, these girls are motivated. They're coming here. They're trying to make their marks on the pro tour. And like I said,
resuming play.
this women's
10,
pro stop,
1.
we have, new faces that we don't see often. And it was really
Side
nice.
out. 1, serving 10.
It'd be nice to see who's going to go to Utah.
Yeah, that usually get a big group of players going to Salt Lake, see if they can match the talent level here. Would be nice to see a Martina McMahon come to this Salt Lake event. We know that Katrina's in, but Martina is going to focus on the Worlds, and you can't take every tournament off, but not having her there is rough as well.
Point. Eleven, serving 1. Point. 12, serving 1.
12-1. New York Athletic Club sponsored women's pro player, Katrina Casey. They're gonna.
Well, they have both of their sponsored players in the finals.
Point.
With Katrina Casey and Killian Carroll. Killian's match, the men's finals.
13, serving 1.
To kick off in 15 minutes. 15-3 was the score of game number 1, and now Katrina Casey about ready to put one more point on the scoreboard to make it 15-1 here.
Possible match, serving 1.
See if this is it. Oh, she just squeaks it out.
Not dead yet. 1, serving 14.
Nice effort. Gracious. Oh.
That out.
You see a lot of players take that wide swing like that, and I wonder why they don't just patty cake it back to the front as opposed to taking that wide wind up. That's a nice get on that serve from Susie. Here's the setup for Koehler.
Wow.
And
That's
she goes
nice.
down and gets the side out. She played that the way you're supposed to.
You know, she's not folding here, even though she has 1. That's just great. She's just really giving it a lot of effort right now. She made a couple good gets, and A nice kill.
But she has a good opportunity here as well. Another one.
Look
Wow.
at that.
Point.
Could be a timeout called here? No. That was an amazing
Yeah,
shot
that was
right
a
there.
beautiful shot. Started just a little late in this this match here. And those are the type of things that, if she could keep that up, that would be great. You know, it's her first time in the finals. You know, she might be nervous, and
Side out.
Yikes.
That's a nice catch.
the effort's there. That's what I like to see.
14, serving 2.
This is match point.
Match.
There it is.
Wow.
15 to 3, 15 to 2. Katrina Casey takes down Suzie Koehler here in 2 straight, and she wins the championship in New York City at the Athletic Club. Congratulations to Katrina Casey, and another trophy going out to her as we get ready for the men's finals between Daniel Cordova and Killian Carroll. We're going to take a break. For Marco Chavez and those helping out with this live broadcast, Chris Grad, Linda Manning. My name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back. Stick around. We'll have more action. 10 minutes from now, the men's finals will kick off here at WPHlive.tv. Welcome back to New York City, Manhattan at the New York Athletic Club. My name is Dave Vincent, alongside Dave Fink here for the men's finals. Race for 8, stop number 6, season number 7. It's Daniel Cordova and Killian Carroll. Dave, Daniel coming in here was a hot-looking player on the tour. As you look back to Houston and how well he played there, Killian Carroll's been in every single final of the year. But Daniel has that hot hand still, and he's playing quite well, obviously making his first ever semifinal appearance of this season, I should say, and then his first ever finals appearance.
We got Killian, #1 player in the world, receiving. You guys, gentlemen, good luck.
Daniel's been stuck in that kind of quarterfinals for most of his race for career, and I think it was most people just expected at some point for him to break through, and he has. And he's done it in dominant fashion here in this event.
Short ball.
These two did play, Dave, in Tucson, where I think Daniel turned a lot of heads, taking Killian to a tiebreaker, winning that first game 15-9 before losing 15-9, 15-3.
I don't think there's many nerves here for either player. I mean, I don't think Killian's ever nervous, but I don't think Daniel Cordova's at all nervous. These cameras have been in his face since he was a young kid.
Short ball.
He goes with a natural hook down the middle to start the match, and then he goes with reverse after scoring that point.
Hold it, replay.
He's really going to set up
1-0.
His side of things with that serve. So far, not a huge break on his reverse or his natural.
Used to have played just twice, Dave, on the race for 8. Killian Carroll leads 2-1.
Serves 1.
Daniel Cordova 41-41 in his race career coming into this match. Of course, he's already picked up 3 wins, so you can add 3 more to that total and make it 44.
Point. 1 serves 1.
A lot like, Dave, a lot of the Americans in tennis. Daniel played out his 4 years in college before turning pro. And then once he did turn pro, Dave really made a splash. That was a splash, Dave. Yeah. Into the right corner.
2 serves 1.
36 feet. Great galleries here on Sunday morning, Dave.
That
upstairs.
Ball was short, Dave.
Had a chance to line judge the women's final, and standing room only up there, Dave. Great match too. I know you enjoyed it.
1.
Fun. Yeah. 3-1 here. I thought that ball was short when it was served, and there was no appeal. And Killian has Danny right where he wants him, pinned on that right wall. The return of serve is so important.
Well, that's what enabled Emmett Bichotte last night to get into this match, was the great return of serve against Killian. Daniel thus far has not been able to push Killian out of that front court and rally up until this rally.
Side out.
So it was 3 quick points there for Killian.
1 serves 4.
Make that 4 quick points.
Short ball.
Oh, huge reverse there, but it was short.
Second serve.
Oh, I like that. Danny cuts underneath that ball off the back wall and slides it down the right.
2 serves 4.
Little stutter step from Killian, slowed his momentum and was unable to get there. Ball short, not appealed. Referee is Mondo Ortiz. This is best 2 out of 3 to 15. Breaker also 15.
Side out.
You know, I can remember when Killian was a regular in the qualifiers. I can't remember, not Killian, but Daniel, a regular in the qualifiers. I can't remember Killian in the qualifiers. That's how
Killian only played in 2.
And he jumped right up into the top 8, and he's never really gotten out of there.
No.
Point.
Underhand paddle kill from Carroll.
5 plays 2.
Killian Carroll, Dave, 24 years of age. He'll be 25 this June. Daniel Cordova, 26. So you're really seeing the future of the sport here and the present. The young guns becoming the guns.
Side out.
I don't know if we can call them young guns anymore. They're young to us.
Yeah, seemed young to me.
2 serves 5.
Big setup here for Daniel. Caught that a little bit behind himself.
Side out.
Daniel should have won that rally on the first strike. Back wall kill, but just didn't hit a good shot. Loses the rally.
2.
6 shots later. Killian Carroll, originally, Dave, from Cork County, Ireland, now living in Boston, Massachusetts. Trains out of the Boston Athletic Club and L Street. Daniel Cordova, also a transplant, Dave. Raised in El Paso, Texas. Spent 4 years in Chicago, Lake Forest College. Now resides in Atlanta, Georgia.
Logansville.
Dave. Logansville, where he and his brother work for great WPH supporter Lance Wachholtz at E4, one of our sponsors. I want to say hello to Lance, who I know is tuning in right now.
6 plays 2.
Look forward to seeing him later this year.
E4 Designs is the name of that company, and they're going to be stop number 1 on Race for 8.
Can't wait for that one.
No screen call there?
Point.
Killian just sort of said, okay, well, I'll just change my swing then. I'll give myself a little more time and go to an Irish whip.
7 plays 2.
Killian goes right down the middle, hop serve, just like Danny does. Interesting serve choice from Carroll. I've never seen him do that before.
This is really the first time in this tournament we've seen Daniel not in control of the rallies.
Point.
Well, he could have ended the rally right there.
Just needed, I think, one more step back so he wasn't falling back into that shot.
Plays 2.
Now it's 8-2. This is kind of one-way traffic right now for
Short ball.
Killian. Our referee, Mondo Ortiz, former
Second
race
serve.
for 8 #1, 2-time race for 8 champion. He and Killian Carroll, Dave, our referee that is, are the only 2 players in race for 8 history to defeat Paul Brady in a race event. You know how you love those little tidbits.
9 plays 2.
I remember Mike Schneider beating Brady in a race for 8 event. Salt Lake City.
I don't count forfeits.
Well, I do. Made a
Side
career
out.
off of it, in fact.
2 plays 9.
2-9 here. David's
Short
Killian
ball.
Carroll in control as Daniel serves a short. Let's see what he does
Heel.
here on the second offering.
Didn't see. 1 agrees. Call stands. Second serve. Side out.
Killian Carroll is, or Daniel Cordova, will assure that we don't have the same men's and women's champion in every NYAC
9
race for 8
plays
event.
2.
Since 2014, the first year that we held race events here at the NYAC, it's been Paul Brady winning the men's, Katrina Casey winning the women's. Katrina Casey kept that record intact earlier this morning, but of course Paul Brady is
10 plays
not
2.
going to win today, so that streak will be broken.
Short ball.
So we'll have had 3
Second serve.
different players win here in the 5 years we've been competing here. Let's go back to some more stats here. Trying
Can't
to get
wait to
some
hear
kind
them.
of reaction.
Point. $11 plays 2.
11-2 now, Dave. Things not going well for Danos. Talking to Lucho last night, Dave. Danos' brother and
One half of the Flying
Side out.
Cordovas.
half of them, yeah. Also top 5.
2 plays 11.
Yeah.
If you're talking about both
Yeah.
of them.
I don't do stats.
No, you don't. But
I listen to them, but I don't do them.
the
Point.
great shot there from Danos. The first rally of Lucho's match with Killian, Killian made 3 or 4 of the best gets I've ever seen. I don't know if you remember
3
that,
plays
Dave, on the
11.
broadcast, but Lucho said, I think
Short ball.
Killian goes in
Watch
there
that front foot.
intentionally to do that, to
Second
intimidate you,
serve.
to show you that there's no shot that I can't get. And from there, you're just kind of mentally broken.
Side out.
Only 3 points on the board now for Danos.
11 plays 3.
And that's an amazing serve. You knew as soon as that struck
12
his
plays
hand,
3.
Dave, that wasn't coming back. Maybe Emmett Pichot returns that serve. Maybe.
Well,
Point.
last night he would have.
That's 2
13
consecutive
plays 3.
unreturned serves for Killian. Only 1 goes down as an ace, though. That's not going to be an ace.
Side out. Three plays 13. Side out.
Dave, we've only had 1 tiebreaker in the history of the men's race for 8 finals here at the
13
NYAC.
plays
Robbie
3.
McCarthy
That's
and
right.
Paul Brady. A few years back.
Robbie actually led Paul 4-0 in that tiebreaker.
Point.
Paul came back to win that. Paul led 17-13 in the second game.
Game point,
After he won the first game, it
13.
looked like it was over right there, and it wasn't.
That's game.
There it is.
4 minutes.
Killian takes down Daniel Cordova here in game number 1. We have a 4-minute break, though, as we watch this last play. Danny popping that ball, trying to control it down that left wall, but hits it down the middle and then boxes himself out. Killian hits a correct shot. They touch hands. And the referee then calls for a 4-minute break.
We have to take a break, too?
We don't have to.
I mean,
but we're going to.
It seems like we're trying to get a groove going, and we just keep getting interrupted.
Oh, you have more stats.
Well, I just
stats.
The start and stop.
You don't like that? Let's just stay.
Let's do it.
There's nothing saying that we have to go. Just listen to more stats. Of the statistics that we have, Killian Carroll been in the final now 6 straight stops. Actually, more going back.
Straight.
Yeah, going back further. But for this season, 6 straight.
Yeah.
Only twice so far it's been the same opponent. So we've had somewhat a different opponent for him in every one of those stops.
In 10?
No, I'm talking about this year.
This season.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it again. The next time we're taking a break. Okay?
Okay.
Because I think Sean Lenning twice.
Mondo twice.
Danny makes 5, and then the 6th one would have been, who else has he faced? Seemed like it was Mondo to start the year.
It was Mondo in Atlanta. Tucson was Robbie McCarthy.
Okay, there it is. So we've had a little bit of variety at least.
Yeah.
Mondo, Sean Lenning, Robbie McCarthy, and now Danny Cordova.
Right.
So fans are able to see something different in these finals, even though it may be dominated by one player. I guess you can say somewhat the same for Katrina Casey as well.
Yeah, she's faced 3 different opponents.
Right,
in the finals.
out of 3.
Right.
Well, you're watching the men's finals here. It was Killian Carroll taking down that very first one. First game, that is.
Look, really dominant there in that first game. 15-3, Daniel never really in that game. Daniel looked so dominant yesterday, controlling the center of the court, serving and shooting his way to 20-minute victories. And now here he is just on the complete opposite end of that spectrum. He's the guy now that's being pushed around side to side, picking up 3-bounce kills.
Killian Carroll's a pretty amazing dude. You know, he makes so many improvements from one tournament to the next. We heard, it seemed sarcastically, but I'm actually thinking that he's being real.
Mm-hmm.
We heard him say at the last tournament that he was going to go back and work on some things that he felt like he was focusing on. I don't even remember the exact wording, but he was focusing on being perfect in the court. Now he has to go in there and focus on those things that you need to do in the middle of the rally. I'm assuming scoop returns and underhand lobs or whatever the case it may be. He didn't really state what it was, but he felt like he was practicing too much stealth stuff, and he wanted to go back and kind of learn some of the basics, and I'm not sure what else he could learn.
Well, he's improved tremendously throughout this tournament, in my opinion, from his first round until now.
Yeah, he didn't look good at all in the first round. I can say that.
He wasn't nearly as sharp.
Yeah, he wasn't sharp at all. And I don't feel even his second round was, at the beginning of that second round, it was very sharp either. But then it seemed like he got into the groove, like sort of a wake-up call.
Serve 0.
Here it is, game number 2, Dave. Starts off with a great serve. Daniel defends that pretty well. Now, why is Daniel hitting an overhand back wall shot?
Maybe lost it in the glass.
Side out.
And he starts off good here.
Just so impressed by the patience of Killian Carroll and Katrina Casey. You see them in there, and they'll really wait until they get the exact opportunity they want. where it seems like their opponents are trying to force everything they possibly can because they're thinking, I'm not going to get another chance this good, even though it's barely a setup. They aren't thinking that way. Katrina, Dave, I saw her go to the ceiling repeatedly on balls I thought she could have shot. She just waits.
Side out.
Daniel hitting with an open stance on almost every shot, particularly with his left. He's off his back foot also. And that tells me he's just not that comfortable in that. Now that's a better swing, but he doesn't put the ball in a good spot.
Point.
And that's automatic for Killian. Not that easy of a shot when that ball comes out at almost 90 degrees.
One serves
but
one.
Killian knows how to modify his swing and let the ball roll through his hand just perfectly on those type of shots. That's one of those things, Dave, I think
Two serves one.
Can't be taught. That just comes from years of experience and
Point.
teaching yourself and remembering what works.
3, plays 1. Side out.
And that's about the easiest shot Killian's had in the whole event, and he misses it by 8 inches short.
It's a good serve there from Danny, but Killian gets it back.
That's the kind of shot I mean, Dave. He pushes it hard down that right wall. There's another opportunity.
That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
You see a little slide there,
No,
Dave?
didn't. I saw it. The angle that shot Killian hit had so much speed off the side wall that it's going to hit the back wall and really shoot hard to the right.
That was a really great shot.
Yeah, beautiful.
Because he's pretty deep in the court there.
I noticed,
Point.
and Daniel should have been farther back there. There was no way Killian could have done anything but that shot. But I noticed when Killian played Paul Brady in the finals of the 2016 New Orleans, they were both hitting these amazing hard two-wall shots. They really wore each other out in that match because both these guys were able to hit those hard, almost offensive two-wall shots.
Second serve.
Right.
Hadn't seen that before.
Point.
And I noticed Dave Killian has this shot with his left that I don't see anyone else have. When he's in trouble, he can punch the ball front wall, right side wall deep or open-handed. And he does it with enough pace that it becomes a difficult shot where you think you've had him in trouble and he's not only neutralized you but put you in a spot where you're probably going to give him a setup. Haven't really seen it yet today, but when he needs it, he has it, just like that shot.
Gosh, that's beautiful. Such a casual underhand paddle right there.
6, plays 1.
You see other players try to guide that in, and it's always short, or they leave it really high.
Point.
That's another muscle memory shot for
Time
Killian.
out.
See him do that a lot.
Daniel, that's your first.
Because it wasn't as though it was his perfect swing. I mean, he's a little...
Yeah, it's inside of him a little bit. So he breaks over the ball and keeps it in the right spot.
But, you know, Dave, you go through history of all the greats, Killian Carroll, Dave Chapman, Paul Brady, they all have every swing mastered. They've got the sidearm swing mastered, the underarm swing mastered, overhand swing, fist swing, you know, and they know when to use them too. So if they get jammed, they have a swing for that.
Yeah, I don't think he got jammed there. I think what happened was it was Danny moving up. It put himself out of position for the shot that Killian knew he could make. If Danny takes 1 or 2 more steps, and he did, he just moseyed up there, and so Killian said, well, I'll just go to the corner now. I think Killian was going to blast that down the left prior to that, or go for a straight
7, plays
to back
1.
front wall kill, but he changed it at the last second. And he was jammed, but you're right. Those guys
Point.
and the confidence level in order to change so quickly.
8, plays 1. Point.
This is becoming one of those lopsided NYAC finals that
9,
we've seen.
1. Side out. 1 plays 9.
Last year it was Paul Brady defeating Killian Carroll in the final. First game was close, 15-12. The second game was not.
2 plays 9. Short ball. Second serve. Hold it, replay. Two plays 9. He appeals the serve.
Killian knows.
Both disagree.
All you got to do is watch Killian's body language there.
2 serves 9. Point.
Our referee did not say second serve there, but Daniel knew it.
3 plays 9.
Two
Short
straight,
ball.
That was close.
2 straight points for Danos right now. He also had the side out coming in, so
Second
he's won
serve.
3 straight rallies.
Point.
No
Now
timeout
Danos.
here. Watch
4
this
plays 9.
return of serve.
Short ball.
These are most of the pros' favorite shot, taking
Second
that
serve.
3-wall wraparound out of the air in the front court.
Did Killian hit that too high? Too far back on that left wall?
Side out.
Because it seems like that's the right shot to take from there. Very difficult to make.
It has to be a tighter angle to that left side wall. Pinch it more, because
Right,
if you
okay.
pinch it more, you
9
can't
plays
fly
4.
it. If you catch more in the middle of the left side wall, it just hangs.
Terrible shot from Danny.
Point. Chop. Thank you.
Both of these guys are good guys on the court. I believe that Killian respects Daniel Cordova and doesn't perceive any of this stuff as being stalling. You see Killian saying, let's get more of this over here. We've seen Killian get a little frustrated with other players
Right.
that have done less than this.
Yes.
So
Funny how that works
yeah,
out.
it is a little hypocritical, but it comes down to respect.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that you're actually really trying to clean this up. It's not that you're trying to get time out.
All right. 10 plays 4. Short ball. Second serve.
I don't think Danos
Point.
needed to go down to one knee there. Killian, if he wins this match, will be assured of the most number of
11
ranking
plays
points
4.
you can possibly have to finish a season
Short ball.
with 50. Count your best 5 out of 7. This will be 5 wins
Second serve.
on the season.
Yeah, that's not happened.
I think you're right. The year Paul Brady had a great year.
Point.
He didn't play in all the stops, I don't think.
Well, he lost in Houston in the semifinals. Then he lost in Salt Lake City. But I think he might have won all the other ones. So he
12
might have
plays
had
4.
50 that year. Go back and look at that.
What about the Portland?
13 plays
The
4.
Players' Champion there was, I mean, obviously Killian won the tournament, but didn't Paul still win the Players' Championship?
Yes.
Side out.
But I believe that was the same year he lost to Mondo in Houston, right?
4 plays
2016? Was that 15? Well, that was 15.
Uh-oh.
Point. 5, place 13.
Oh, Killian missing a rare ceiling shot there.
6, place 13. Point. Seven, place 13. Point. Eight, place 13.
8 to 13 here.
Daniel making a late run here.
There's an ace serve
Point.
from Cordova.
9, place 13.
Can't just run out the clock in handball, Dave. There's a big setup.
Side out.
Takes care of that.
Thirteen, plays 9. Match point, plays 9.
And just like that, Killian goes for it. And he gets it.
Ball, check ball.
Mondo saying that this ball broke. I haven't seen a referee call a break before the ball makes the front wall, but Killian knew. Yeah, it definitely looks broken there on off the wall. Killian pointing at it. We're going to have to replay this baby.
Yeah, pop a new one.
Nothing like opening up a brand new can just for what could be the last point, but it has to be done nonetheless.
Hold up. That was a replay. Match point, serves 9.
Good serve from Killian. Goes for
Match,
the ace.
match.
And he does it. A little bit of emotion there. Killian Carroll winning the New York stop. It's a great camera angle, too. Watch this last little play. The ball doesn't make the front wall. A little bit of emotion from Killian Carroll, who closes it out, gets the final hug and the final trophy, as well as winning some more of those ranking points and taking down the New York Athletic Club right here in front of his pals, his members, his fellow members, as he's a supported player from the New York Athletic Club. And a local favorite at that. Killian Carroll down in the players section here as he's winding down after this match. Congratulations to him. We're going to wrap it up. It's been a great weekend. Handball in New York, Manhattan, right near Central Park, in fact, where the NYAC WPH Race for 8 stop number 6 has just concluded with the men's final. For Dave Fink and those helping out with the live broadcast, to include Chris Garrad, Linda Manning, and Lolita DeVincent, want to thank those that have tuned in and supported this event that we've had this weekend as well. We'll see you in Salt Lake City in less than 1 month for the Players' Championship. Thanks for being here on WPHLive.tv.